sat in the audience of the musical Chicago. She was watching it in Melbourne. That was in 1998. And it was to become a defining moment in her life. She literally fell in love with theatre, and what followed has been a lifetime of doing what she loves best, and that's performing. Starring in Tic Tac Boom from April the 21st, my guest, Angela Secundy, is with us now. Angela, nice to have you with us, and welcome into 97.7 FM.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
What an exciting time to go along to the theatre, as I did as a young kid too, and fall in love with what you saw. Tell me about it.
I'm so sorry. I don't have a very good line here. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfectly. Now, the last interview was at the same thing. We've had phone troubles here today. All the phones went out. So I've got you up as loud as I can. Can you hear me now?
Wonderful. I can hear you now. Do you mind repeating your question?
All right. I gave you a fantastic intro.
I missed it. It's always the way.
All right. Well, look, we'll take two. You've done these before in theatre. We'll do a take two. Here we go.
Amazing.
At the tender age of 12, my next guest sat in the audience of the musical Chicago in Melbourne. That was 1998. And it was to become a defining moment in her life. She literally fell in love with theatre, and what followed has been a lifetime of doing what she loves best, and that's performing. Starring in Tic Tac Boom from the 21st of April, my guest, Angela Secundy, is joining me right now. Hi, Angela.
Hello. That was beautiful. Thank you.
You heard all of that. Good.
I heard all of it, and I got tingles just being able to put myself back in the Her Majesty's Theatre in that moment. Thank you.
Look, I saw the same show as you. Perhaps you and I were there on the same night, and it was absolutely wonderful. But as a 12-year-old, how did that really feel to you, and why were you so touched by it?
Oh, look, I even remember where I was sitting in the theatre. I was it would be prompt side of the stage, so my stage right, looking up at it. And look, for me, I had been brought up on musicals, so to see one like Chicago for my birthday and to see it live, and I was only 4 rows back, so I was so close, so I could see the performers breathing, and watching someone as enigmatic as Carolyn O'Connor was just, she's got such an energy that just jumps right out at you. Yep. And it really just, I was in awe from start to finish. I thought everyone on that stage was just incredible, and the Bob Fosse choreography, it was probably the first time I saw something as sexy as Chicago. And so, as a 12-year-old where I myself was on the cusp of, growing up and transitioning, something like that was so wonderful for me to see.
Would have been right in your face in those days, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, it was.
Yeah, and legs up on the chairs, all the singing, all the dancing, and
all the black fishnets, and
yes, exactly right, right, and quite controversial too when it was first produced way back. But a beautiful production, and I'm so glad you saw that at the age of 12. Otherwise, we may not have had you doing what you're going to be doing very, very soon. You're a graduate of NIDA, of course, in New South Wales. You performed in so many shows. A couple of those that come to mind, Into the Woods, the Rocky Horror Show. Now, look, I don't know any actor in Australia who has not performed in the Rocky Horror Show, but you've been in that as well?
I have. I've been in Rocky Horror 3 times.
Wow.
Enough of it. Yeah. I know, it's a bit of a running joke with me, of just jumping on to the Rocky Horror Show whenever I can.
Yeah.
So 3 wonderful Australian productions, the 2008 production with Iota, directed by Gail Edwards, which was actually my first musical outside of uni. So that was my first big gig, and stepping into that cast was pretty eye-opening for one, and gosh, how lucky am I to learn from such incredible performers. Iota, Paul Kapsis, Sharon Miller-Chip, Tamsin Carroll. I mean, in the ensemble with me were Lucy Maunder, Verity Hunt-Ballard, Lisa Adam, these heavyweight music theatre leading ladies, just incredible. So Rocky's been a big part of my life. I've got to perform with Richard O'Brien himself, which is still one of my most treasured experiences.
That would be.
Yeah,
that would be.
Rocky holds a very special place in my heart. And again, lots of sexiness and black fishnets.
Angela, when was that? Your first performance in Rocky was what year?
back in 2008.
2008. Yeah, that's a memorable time too. So you've got lots of lovely, lovely memories there. Because we're going to run short of time today because our phones went down, I've got so many people to interview. I want to keep going with you and talk now about the current production coming up on the 21st, Tic Tac Boom. This is going to be a fantastic musical. The reason I'm saying that to you is that the guy who wrote this, Jonathan Larson from Rent fame, it's really an autobiography, I think, isn't it, on his life. And he passed away some 20 years ago. I did see Rent. I'm not too sure whether you would have seen it at that age, did you?
Yeah, back in 96.
Yeah.
Or was it? Yeah, I did, actually.
Yep. It was a fantastic show. Yeah.
It's a favourite of many people. Definitely a favourite of mine. That was an album that I'd listened to, later, some 10 years later when I finally got my license in the car over and over and over again. It's an amazing soundtrack and the Australian production was fantastic.
Well, this, of course, Tic Tac Boom is going to be a big salute to this man, Jonathan Larson. Tell us why.
Well, it really, as you mentioned before, it was written as an autobiography and just a one-man show. So I guess essentially a cabaret show for him. So it was just Larson on a piano and a rock band. That's what it was written as. And then later, post his passing, it was developed into the three-hander that we know and love today. And it's really just a homage to his great work and his career, but also a really intimate insight into his journey and really any artist's journey when they decide to pursue this crazy business we call show. Very special as it's like, it's an anniversary of the production, and it just, I don't know, it's a wonderful opportunity to really celebrate an incredible man who has really contributed a lot to the industry that we know today.
You play Susan in the production. You're along with another two actors in that as well. There's only three of you, as I believe.
There is, and we've got two wonderful swings who are joining us as well.
Good. So John's played by, who's that?
Luigi Lucente.
Yep.
So we have a very Italian cast, Angelo Scundi and Luigi Lucente, starring in Tic Tac Boom.
And Quinn Kelly plays Michael. There you are. There's an English name, Quinn Kelly, or a Scottish name. Kelly.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun time, and it's a great space down at Chapel Off Chapel. I think you're going to enjoy. Have you performed there before?
I haven't. This is my first time in Chapel Off Chapel. I've seen many shows there, and it's a fantastic venue. But, yeah, my first time in the loft, and you get to see everything. I mean, it's like the audience and the show become one. That's the beauty of that space.
It's very intimate, very intimate.
Yeah.
It's a lovely space. What would your advice be for anyone listening in today, youngsters particularly, around your age of 12 when you went to that show, to turn around and say, I'd like to get into this industry? How would you do it?
Oh, well, once you declare that, I think it comes down to really take that seriously, get to class. So whether it's like dance class, if it's music theatre that you really want to be a part of, I mean, you've got to do all three. You've got to sing, act and dance. And I would be giving equal love and weight to each of those mediums, I guess. So get yourself to class and really own that, and don't be afraid of owning that that's what you love and that's what you want to do. Like, I know growing up, I danced 5 times a week. I sung every day I could. I would run home from school and jump straight into the lounge room and start practicing my routines, or go out and watch theatre. That's the best learning that you can have, and just never stop fueling what brings you the joy in it, I would say.
Angela, that's wonderful advice for our youngsters listening in today, so I do thank you for that, and I wish you all the best for Tic Tac Boom. We'll be there to see it, and we'll see you there too at the same time, so look forward to that very, very, very much. You take care. I'm going to say to you, break a leg, because I think that's what we say in this industry. So
absolutely.
Do well, and we'll see you on the night.
Thanks so much. Thanks
nice to talk to you.
Me.
Okay, cheers to you. Okay, bye-bye now.